We will get this thing going. Here we go. It's time for Clubhouse Chatter. Here's Norm Ordez.
That's right. Here we are for the last segment for 2015, and we're going to end with a Magic Valley kid. Well, he's not a kid anymore, but from Twin Falls, Idaho, I have Sneed. Cy, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm just doing fine up here. I'm actually in Alaska right now.
Yeah, where at in Alaska are you at?
I'm on the Kenai Peninsula where my wife's family is from.
Okay, so it sounds like you got pretty good cell reception, so we're good there.
Yeah, so far so good.
So now, you grew up in Twin Falls, correct?
I grew up in Elko, Nevada,
Okay.
actually, and then moved to Twin Falls when I was right before my freshman year of high school.
Okay. So you played at Twin Falls High School. Who was the coach at Twin Falls High School then?
Tim Stellmeyer.
Okay, and what was your experience playing at Twin Falls?
I loved it. It was great. I think that people really don't understand how good those coaches are there at Twin Falls. A lot of the things that was taught to me when I was 15, 16, 17 years old at Twin Falls High School is stuff that guys are being taught at 23 years old in the minor leagues. So, it's the same in college. Or a lot of the little things of baseball that people don't know, they don't get taught. We were getting taught at Twin Falls. I think that's why that program is so successful with Stottlemyre and kind of the way he runs that team. And we have a lot of fun, but at the same time, it's getting down to business when it's game time. There's no goofing around. There's nothing like that. And I think that's something that a lot of teams, especially high school teams, don't get. And at Twin Falls High School, they really do. And those coaches over there are really, really good.
So growing up in Twin Falls, it's a little bit different. I grew up in neighbor Kimberly, and so spent a lot of time in Twin Falls. And I'll tell you, it's special. There's a lot of people that are clawing to get out of Twin Falls, but man, I love going back. And Twin Falls is such a baseball town. A lot of people don't realize it, but with College of Southern Idaho and the success of Twin Falls High School, they have a great Parks and Rec program. It really is a baseball town.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Like you talked about CSI and them, and Twin Falls High School, they need an Legion team, and how successful that usually is. And with, I think with all the parents too that just make that so successful with running everything and the concessions. I remember, being in high school in Legion, and it just seemed like there was always people at the games. Everything was always taken care of on that end, and all we had to do was worry about playing baseball.
Right.
And I think that's one of the reasons is because it is a baseball town, and everybody, really is behind you and ready to go.
So you don't hear a lot, unless you play or unless you're connected, you don't hear a lot about the American Legion team, the Twin Falls Cowboys. They are one of the most successful teams, not only in the state of Idaho, but in the country.
Yeah, they are. They really are. They're, in my 3 years in the AA Legion team, I think we went to state all 3 times, and I believe that we were in the championship 2 out of 3 times. So, it's just amazing how how much they win, and you just, when you're there, you don't really think about it. Then you look back and you think, wow, we went, my senior year of high school, we went like 24-8, and that summer we went like 36-12.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
So how does a kid from Twin Falls get to Dallas Baptist? So you signed on with Dallas Baptist University to play it at Dallas Baptist. How did that come about?
Well, actually, I really wanted to go to a Christian school that had a good baseball program. And so I kind of was shopping around, and one day, I was just messing around like on the internet and looking at, like Texas schedule and Baylor and, Oklahoma State and things like that. And this Dallas Baptist kept popping up, and they won a lot of the games.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking, who are these people? So I looked them up and found that, they were pretty darn good. So I sent the coaches some video of me pitching and kind of just introduced myself. And that was in the spring, and that summer, the head coach, Dan Hefner, came up and watched me pitch in Twin. And I went down for a visit shortly after that and committed and signed, and I was gone.
And Dallas Baptist, not a lot of people know about Dallas Baptist. Just recently, within probably the last 4 or 5 years, they're kind of becoming a big player on the regional scene in baseball. I believe they made a super regional last year. Am I correct?
They hosted a regional last year. They were in the super regional in 2011, I believe.
Okay. But not a lot of people outside of that area know about Dallas Baptist, unless you're in Oklahoma or Louisiana, and you're playing them. But you come out west, you're like, people are like, who is Dallas Baptist?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a small school. I think my freshman year when I enrolled, there was 5,000 students on campus. It's a small school. It's kind of tucked back into the hill, kind of the hills of southern Dallas, and it's just kind of out of the way. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's kind of the same as Twin Falls. The coaching is very, very strong. When I was there, Wes Johnson was the pitching coach, and I would say that he's probably the best pitching coach that by far the best one I've ever got to be around. And I would venture to say he's probably the best one in the country. But preparing guys and getting guys physically ready to throw, and I mean, it's just incredible what I've seen him do with guys. And then on the hitting side with Coach Hefner, I mean, he's unbelievable with how he can teach guys to have great bat speed and a great plan and approach to plate. And, you get guys that really buy in, and you'll see guys just absolutely take off because it's all about development, and that's all they're trying to do. It's not about who you are when you come in. It's who you can be, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday series every week.
So what is it like, playing on the big stage, college baseball in Texas? So you play at TCU, who's a huge national power, University of Texas, Texas A&M. What is it like playing in those locations?
It's really cool. You get to, because I mean, as a little kid, you watch the college baseball and you watch the regionals being there, the super regionals at some of those places, and so then you walk in and it's right there. But what was really fortunate when I was there is we had some older guys that really understood, that it's a 9-inning ball game. And it doesn't matter where you're playing. They'll talk to you beforehand and kind of give you the layout and all that kind of thing. And so when you walk in, you're prepared. Even if you're 18, 19 years old, it's your first year, you're as prepared as you can be. You're not going to be super overwhelmed. And then after you've been there once or twice and you've played at some nice places, it's just another field.
Right.
And I think that was one of the really nice things about going to DBU was that we got to play at so many places like that I think I can walk into lots of stadiums now, and it's just another field.
And so you were drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers. So take us through that process, and how did you find out that you were drafted?
Well, I actually was sitting on the couch, and I think the draft started about 10 a.m., so I'm all ready to go, and I've got my snacks, I'm ready to just sit there and just wait for a whole day to hear my name. And about 10 minutes before the draft, the Brewers called me and talked to me for a minute. I hadn't talked to the Brewers at all the whole season, so it was really out of nowhere. And then they go, okay, well, we're going to draft you in the third round. And I was like, okay. And then 10 minutes later, they called my name, and that was it. I was like, oh, wow, it was almost anticlimactic, but it was really, it's kind of nice because I didn't have to sit there and stress out all day.
So was that higher or lower than what you were expecting?
No, it was higher. It was quite a bit higher, actually.
Because you were drafted like a couple years before, I believe you were drafted in something like the 25th or 30th round. Am I correct on that?
35th.
35th.
Yeah, 35th round by the Rangers out of high school.
That'd been okay playing with the Rangers as well.
Yeah.
So you pitch in the Brewers organization, and you know, from what I've heard of the Brewers organization, it's a class organization. And what was your time spent with them like?
It was good. I think that this year especially, I really started to figure a few things out with some of the pitching coaches that I had in Wisconsin and Florida where I was at this year. I really started to figure a few things out, and they helped me along the way and kind of using what they had done with previous guys who were similar to me but not the same, and just trying to kind of add some things to my repertoire and kind of just do a few little things with me. I think that made a big deal, and I feel like I got stronger the whole year because of that. So it was good. And
then you were traded to the Houston Astros. What was that like, and how did you find out about that?
Well, I was once again sitting on the couch. It seems to be a common theme. I was doing some homework, and I got a call from a Milwaukee number. And most times they'll call you to check in, how your workouts are going and all that kind of thing. So I figured it was one of those. And once I answered the phone, I recognized it wasn't the voice of the trainer that normally calls me. And then they tell me that, thanks for everything, but you've been traded to the Astros, and, best of luck to you, and you'll find out more as the day goes on. I had no idea who I'd gotten traded for, if there was anybody coming with me, all that kind of thing. So I was really surprised and really caught off guard, and I found out all the the trade details on Twitter, actually. And then it just, and so then it was just crazy. I mean, for like 2 days, I was just in total shock. So
now you get ahead to a whole different state for spring training. You get ahead to Florida. And, I'd imagine, so you were at Wisconsin last year, so I'd imagine, there is a possibility that you could be headed to Lancaster, California in the Cal League.
Yeah, I don't know where they'll have me. I don't know where they'll have me, but we'll see. Like you said, I started in Wisconsin last year and finished up in Florida. So, we'll see. I'm just going to go in spring training ready to go. And, just if I'm firing on all cylinders and, everything's going good, that's all I can control. And wherever they put me. And I just got to get people out that level.
So when have you started prepping for the 2016 season, and how does your prep go?
I started working out and that sort of thing about a month after the season. I took about a month off and didn't touch a baseball and didn't do anything, and then started getting back into the weight room pretty good. Actually, the Astros throwing program is very similar to what I was going to do on my own, so that matched up really well with kind of being a smooth transition and all that. So I've just been doing their throwing and getting into it, and hopefully, February, March, whenever they tell me that I'm going to Florida, that I'll show up and be tuned up and ready to go.
So growing up, who did you follow? Did you have a favorite player?
Well, my favorite player was Nolan Ryan, so he was definitely retired. But I just like watching certain guys. I really like watching guys like Adam Wainwright throw. Guys who you just watch them pitch, and they throw strikes. They've got good stuff. But then when you watch, their delivery and how they mess with hitters and their plan and all that kind of stuff, that's what I really like. Really like watching guys like that. And then, it's always fun to watch anybody that throws 100. So,
right.
pretty much anybody who does that, like, or like Kimbrel, who's just an absolute bulldog on the mound. And, so you just kind of pick up guys like that who, who are really, really talented at what they do. They might not have the best stuff in the world, but they are really good at one aspect of the game, and I really like watching that, because really, if you can be great at one aspect and good at the other ones, you're going to be very successful.
So this is going to be a two-part question. What was the best advice, baseball-wise, given to you, and what advice, if you were doing a baseball camp, what advice would you give to the younger players?
Well, actually, it's the same, and that is throw it over the plate. Don't worry about nibbling, trying to hit the corners, all that kind of stuff. That gets so many people in trouble that just throw the ball over the plate. That's one of the things that I did this year, and I wasn't really happy with my walks the year before, and so I just came out and said, I'm not going to walk people. I'm going to throw the ball over the plate, and I'm going to make sure it's down in the zone, but I'm not going to be scared to throw the ball across the middle of the plate. And, if it's a little toothy and it's got a little sinker or, whatever on it that I can do to try to mess somebody up, I'm throwing the ball over the plate. And very occasionally when I go to corners, and I think that was one of the reasons why I had such few walks this year, was because, I tried to throw the ball over the plate as much as I could. And with the way my stuff works, there's no reason for me to do that. So when I'm, instructing little kids or anything like that, that's what I tell them. Just throw it over the plate. There's nothing good. Almost nothing good will come from not throwing the ball over the plate.
Right.
You might occasionally get a swing, all that kind of thing, but at the end of the day, you got to throw it over the plate to get people out.
What has been your most memorable moment so far in your young baseball career?
I would say that it actually happened while I was at DBU, my second to last start in the Missouri Valley Conference, opening round, playing Missouri State. We had played them 6 times already that year. I think we had beat them. I don't remember if we beat them 5 times or 6 times, but all the games were one or two run games. They were all just absolute barn burners every time. And they were a very tough team, and the guy that they were starting was really good. And I think we only scored 1 run off him in 9 innings last time we'd faced him. So I knew that I kind of had my work cut out for me. And in the bullpen, I literally did not throw a strike. I was all over the place, and for absolutely no reason. But I'm very big on routine. You throw the same sequence in the bullpen. You throw, and by the end of that, your body knows, okay, it's ready to go, and you go pitch. You don't worry about making adjustments to the bullpen because it doesn't matter down there. And so I had 3 pitches left in the bullpen. I kind of step off, clear my head, throw 3 strikes in a row. I'm thinking, okay, that's good. So I walk down to the dugout, give me a little drink of water. We go out, start the game. Had a good first couple innings, and then all of a sudden it just started clicking. And, we had some good defensive plays that kind of got me out of some stuff, and it started clicking, and I started getting stronger. And by the end of the game, it was probably the best game I ever pitched in college, and it came at a great time. And then I pitched 9 innings, we go to extra innings. In the bottom of the 10th, one of my good friends, Drew Turbin, who's from Coeur d'Alene, gets a home run to right field to walk off the bottom of the 10th. So it was just a really good game, and that whole week, that whole tournament was just great, and we started off in a really fun way. That's one of the best ones for me.
Nice. So we have Cy Sneed, who is a member of the Houston Astros organization, Twin Falls, Idaho graduate, and Dallas Baptist. Cy, thank you for coming on, and I really hope you get a chance to play in Lancaster this year. I was a clubhouse manager in Lancaster back in 2006 when they were a Diamondbacks organization, and the people in Lancaster will take great care of you.
Well, I appreciate that.
And so once again, Mr. Cy Sneed. Cy, thank you for coming on the show, and have a great New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so there we go. Cy Sneed, Twin Falls Bruin, and it's pretty exciting, you know. I mean, coming from Kimberly, Idaho, you know, I was always going to Twin Falls games, and Twin Falls has such a rich baseball tradition. You know, not only American Legion with the Twin Falls Cowboys, but also minor league baseball, you know. So people like Mickey Rivers started off there when Twin Falls had a minor league team. They were associated with the Yankees, also the Cubs and the Phillies. I believe at some time there were the Reds as well. Just a great tradition. College Southern Idaho with Skip and Boomer Walker up there are always, you know, powerhouse on the JUCO level. And so with that said, Brian, it's time for a little bit of a flashback from 2015. You know, it's been a great year for Clubhouse Chatter. We have grown, and I never knew that we would end up like this at the end of 2015 with some of the names that we've had.
You've had some big names, Norm. You name it. Some funny stories behind those big names, too. I mean, the first one that comes to mind, Denny McLain. I mean, the whole story behind that was very interesting. That's one thing that we talk about who we have on. And you finally got Denny, but it was a comedy of errors.
It was a comedy of errors, you know. And, man, you know, for me, it's hard to pick out a favorite. You know, they're all favorites. But, you know, I'm finding that I'm starting to develop feelings for the older guys. You know, Carl Erskine, George Genovese, you know, some of the, you know, Bobby Winkles.
Tom Gamboa.
One of my favorites. I just love hearing the old stories. And, you know, we'll have Erskine on again, you know, I'm sure in April around Jackie Robinson Day. But man, you know, we've lost a lot of good people in 2015, and you know, I look at like Rocky Bridges, one of my favorite baseball people of all time. You know, I never got him on the show. George Genovese, you know, once again I feel screwed because I had him on before a month before he passed, and I probably could have gotten 5 or 6 shows out of him. You know, you look at, you know, people like Bobby Dews, you know, former Brave, you know, in the Braves organization. And, man, you know, Nate Fish over there in Israel, you know, the cat. That was a pretty good one when he had the cat.
It was a good one. Hear the meow.
But
good stuff.
You know,
there's more to come too.
There is more to come.
It's a great year.
You know, we're gonna be changing it up a little bit. You know, that will be seen on how we do with that. But, you know, we're talking about doing some remotes from different stadiums and stuff like that in 2016. You know, man, all the people who have taken care of us over the year, you know, Baseballisms, Base by Pros, Mark Canham with MDM Design, Chris Gazelle with Baseball Dudes, the Corvallis Knights, you know, we're always welcome there. Eugene Emeralds, you know, always welcome there. You know, they love the blog guys like us, and, you know, always an open door there. And Salem Kaiser, you know, with Radio Rob over there, you know, and still trying to figure out a way to work into Hillsboro, but we'll see if that happens in 2016. And
well,
Hillsboro,
they've got competition up there now.
Hillsboro, get on board, please. We'd love to come to a couple of games, and but man, you know, my favorite interview of the year is as an interview that never happened, and that was Dale Murphy. And but you know, I got to talk to him off tape, and you know, Bob Boone was fun. You know, sitting up there in the press box with Bob Boone, drinking beer and eating nachos. That was pretty fun.
It's good memories.
Josh and Kelly were pretty jealous, I think.
One of the things I really liked this year, Tony Torquato coming in studio.
Tony Torquato.
That guy's character, love it.
He is a character, and he will be back in 2016. And maybe we find another co-host to the show, and maybe Tony's it. But yeah, if you ever get the opportunity, get in touch with me, and I can hook you up to go to a baseball game with Tony Trocado. He's pretty fun. And so, wow, here we are, the end of 2015. It's been a good one, Been probably one of the toughest years I've had to deal with, with the death of my dad back in March. But we've rebounded. We took some time off, quite a bit of time actually. The goal every year for us is to do 52 shows, one for every week of the year. We didn't hit that mark. Will we do it in 2016? We'll see. And so much thanks to Brian, to you for producing the show.
Hey, it's fun. Always fun. Great time.
Learned a lot from you. Scott Lynn was another great one, by the way. And so we'll be back in 2016, and we are sponsored by baseballisms.com. Check them out. See if they have any New Year specials going on. Baseballisms.com. Baseballdudes.com. Chris Gazelle up there in Vancouver, Washington. To be the best, you must train like the best. Building an Athlete Sports Education. Based by Pros. Mitch Canham, Brent Lillerbridge. Basebypros.com. If you like the sweatshirt hoodie I'm wearing, Mark Canham, MDM Designs. Check him out. He does great work. Great friend, and does a good job. Also, we stream live on yamhilltoday.com. We're always looking for sponsors to keep this show going and to help us, spread the word and make it better. So shoot me an email, normbo18@gmail.com, and let's chat about it. We are on Twitter, Clubhouse Chatter 1T, Facebook, Clubhouse Chatter with Norm. We're on YouTube, iTunes, and MajorLeagueBaseball.com blogs. I'm Norm. That's Brian. Maya, the super baseball dog, as you can see right there, a little bit in the picture. We'll see you after the new year. Have a safe and happy new year.